What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, two things I want to talk about today. Once again, apologize for the lack of content. Once again, today is Sneezy Day, so I was like, and I had some important business meetings to take care of, which would dictate the journey, the path, the road ahead for the rest of my life, basically. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I got camera issues. We'll figure it out on the next time. But I wanted to talk about two things. One is this. First thing is this. Now, Donkey Unicorns, Ponies, they're going to say, there's a little dinky donkey, super nobody heard of box, outsold the Xbox, blah, 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 blah. Well, first thing that they didn't say, that they don't say, that they won't say, is that it actually outsold the PlayStation before Black Friday. So you have that, which is an indication of, it can outsell the PlayStation. Of course, the PlayStation had to cut $100 from the price, which that's another thing that we're going to get into in 2 seconds. So this is the NEX playground. It's the NEX box playground. I don't know what this. They took a Kinect, they chopped it in half, they slapped it in a steam machine and painted it some pastel colors, and they're calling it the Wii Kinect 3. I don't know what this is. It's Android based. It's basically what the Wii and the Wii U were. Same difference, basically, except it's $250, which is what the Wii originally was, which is a price that is acceptable, is digestible for families. So, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, you should be looking at that and say, hey, that price is what people want to buy. I mean, nobody heard of this. I mean, this thing's like 3 or 4 years old, so it's like it's been around, but that's the thing. So, the other thing about the PlayStation outsold was 47%. And this thing, the next playground, was 14%. And the Xbox was 10%. Blah, 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 right? And the Wii was 28. I don't remember what percentage they were. But, that's the whole thing. The Xbox got knocked out by some no-name nobody knows, right? Here's the thing. And I hate to keep going back to it, but it's part of the reality of capitalism. It's part of the reality of what's happening right now in the space. So, Xbox needs to get that 30%, right? They need to be like, yo, this is a business. We're running a business. We're losing money on these consoles. If people want to buy them, they will buy them. That's the thing. They realize, oh, snap. The people who bought Xboxes wanted to buy Xboxes. We got 45 million out there. That's a pretty good number for people who wanted to buy it hardcore. You know what I'm saying? And PlayStation is, I don't want to call them desperate, but it feels a little sprinkle of desperation on it, because it's like, we have to drop the price in order for people to want to buy this thing, right? Like, say if they didn't drop the price, would they have been 47%? Hell to the nah. No, they wouldn't have been at 47%. That's just facts, right? So here's the thing. When they drop $100 off of the price, they lose money on each sale now. They're not making, because think about it. If them dropping $100 on each console, each unit, and they're still making a profit, that means they're literally ripping you off. Right in front of your face, right in front of your family, just eyes open, no Vaseline, just like that. So they have to be losing money on each one of those consoles. 100% of the 47% is a loss for PlayStation. Now, we conjugate into numbers. How many did they sell? Millions? They lost millions. If they sell 1 million, then they lost however many the deficit is, over a million, They lost millions of dollars off of this Black Friday sale. Why? To get more people to buy a PlayStation. Why? So people could play Fortnite. They're not even playing their games. They're playing Fortnite. They're not even playing their games. And, nobody is thinking about that. Now, I know that we're console warriors and stuff, and we're not. It's about the games or it's about the console sales, which it isn't anymore. But let's just put that in there anyway because that's what they like to talk about, right? So if you want to say it's about console sales, that's fine. Once again, even I think it was Video Game Fight School, right? He was like, yo, he literally did a video today, I think it was, on the fact that they're not giving you the sell through numbers. They're giving you the sell into stores, sell into retailers. I keep saying that. Even King is saying it as well. More people are saying that. And so the illusion is that they sold 84 point whatever million. And the reality is it's closer to 70. You know what I'm saying? And so that's closer to what Xbox has sold. Xbox has sold through. They don't give you sell in numbers. They give you sell through. They give you sell through numbers. The fact that they're not losing any money on the sales of these consoles, Xbox, means Xbox made more money selling 10% of the total sales of Black Friday than PlayStation did because they lost money selling 47%. Does that make sense? So Xbox made more money selling less. And that has been the case this whole generation. They have less consoles out there, but they're making the same amount, close to the same amount. They got the same amount of players. Something doesn't add up, right? You're like, wait a second. You got almost twice as many consoles out there, but nobody's buying those games. And when the investors are sitting there like, yeah, we almost got $1 million. Yeah, we got almost 90 million. How much did Astrobot sell? Oh, okay, that's not. I figured it would be like 10 after maybe 15. No, what 1 and 2 minutes? That's not. Is there something wrong? Was that a bad game or something? Because why didn't it sell? Because you have all these consoles. Why didn't it sell? Like, if you can imagine you're an investor and you're like, yo, you got all these. Why aren't your games selling? What's going on here? Why? You got 80. Why? Are the games whack? Herman's like, Horizon is a very good game. I don't know why he's French all of a sudden. Horizon is very good game. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I can't even do his accent. Anyway, the point is that they can do these things. So you can imagine being an investor looking at these numbers. They're giving. I don't. Are they giving the investors the sell-in numbers? They're giving them the sell-in to customer numbers. Or are they doing the same thing they're trying to do to us and give us the sell-through numbers to, the sell-in, to sell. I'm like, so put yourselves in the shoes and the feet and the pants, skirts, whatever, of the investors. And you say, that's cool. 84 million consoles. Yeah, that's great. So, how many games? How many games did you sell of that PC game? What was that PC game name again? Helldivers 2. What? How many games? How many? Oh, like 5. I mean, that's alright. How many on PC? 12. Whoa, hey, that's okay. So we doing that, right? We gonna put our every time just straight to P because they sell. That's like over twice as many on P. Why don't we do that all the time? Investors say because they're not fanboys. They're fanboys of money. So they're like, yeah, let's do that. And so the fanboys, the ponies, they're like, no, we're taking the games off of PC. And that's not what happened. That's not what happened. It's about the money. It's about the investors. Like I said, Sony lost money by selling the most on Black Friday. Think about it. So now that they lost money, they have to expect or try to imagine that those sales will contribute or give them more money, which is true because they will play not PlayStation games. They're going to play Fortnite. They're going to play Call of Duty. They're going to play Minecraft. All the games that PlayStation doesn't make. And that's an issue for PlayStation. That's a whole nother issue for PlayStation and their business model. So whatever. We'll get to that one day, but that's not really important right now. But anyway, yeah. So people are kind of giving you like the surface level. This sold at 47 to 10% or whatever. But when you talk about money, Xbox made more money than PlayStation. So if you're losing money on each unit, don't matter how many you sell, the more you lose. Stupid. And we talk about making money. That's what they're talking about. That's what Sony's talking about. But once again, the old business model is still there, still creeping in. It's still like, and a lot of it is leadership. A lot of it is just like they're stuck in their own ways. And a lot of it is they're not ready to do what Xbox is doing. Xbox has the multi-plat ability. They have the multitude of studios and content. PlayStation doesn't have the content to support something like what Xbox is doing. They have to be exclusive because when they put out one game, it's got to be a banger, and you can only get it on PlayStation, and that's how they sell consoles. And the problem with that is you can only play their games for the most part on console, PC as well. So if they go dating with PC, then it's over, right? So they're stuck in a place. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place and a black hole. There's like nothing they can do outside of outside of copying everything that Xbox does. That's it. That's it. And that's all. Apologies for the snaffles. So next story. Netflix finna gonna. Oh my gosh, I'm melting. Netflix finna gonna buy Warner Brothers. So they said that yeah, we're gonna buy Warner Brothers, and everybody was like, no, oh my gosh. And Paramount was really mad because Paramount Skydance, that's what it is. They or is it Skydance Paramount? I don't know which one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They offered more money for Warner Brothers, but Netflix won the bid. That's how I understand it from the resources I gained or listened to. And so I'm like, wait, if they how did Netflix win the bid if Paramount / Skydance offered them the most? Huh? How's that work? Maybe Warner Brothers was like, nah, bro, y'all are our enemies. We don't ever want to sell to them. That's like Sony selling to Xbox, Sony selling to Microsoft. They never do it because enemies, right? So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But anyway, $82.7 billion, more than the ABK deal. Where are the ponies and the donkey unicorns crying about this deal? Talking about, yo, Warner Brothers, Batman, boopity-boo on Netflix. They're not saying that because it's not Nintendo. It's not. If this was Xbox, they'd be crying, but it's not, so they're not going to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to say nothing because it's not, it's Netflix. Who cares? It doesn't affect, you know? And I heard a theory that Netflix could do a deal with PlayStation. This is just hypothetical, but they could do it with PlayStation where Netflix buys 45% of PlayStation. PlayStation still owns the controlling interest of the company, Sony, but now Warner Brothers IP becomes exclusive, if you will, to PlayStation and Sony if they do that. And then I'm thinking about that. I'm like, okay, that would be smart, but kind of evil too, right? And then I would be like, what? How would that work? How would the relationship between PlayStation, Sony, and Disney? How would that just destroy that relationship? And then Spider-Man's just like everywhere because Disney be like, oh, you just gonna go get in bed with the competitor? Oh, okay. Philip Spencer. I'm gonna call you later, okay? We gonna talk because they acting a fool. That's what's happening. We gonna act, yeah. These giant companies, giant corporations, gobbling up stuff. I mean, I don't mind. People are saying, oh, if Netflix buys them, then they're not gonna have a lot of releases of movies, blah blah blah. And then someone said, well, what if it's actually the opposite? Maybe Warner Brothers will help Netflix put their movies out there, put more content out in the theaters as opposed to the other way around. And I'm like, that sounds, because people still go to the movie theaters, believe it or not, you know? I mean, I do. The thing is, I'm not going to read through this, but the thing is basically they said that Netflix isn't going to change how HBO, Warner Brothers, all that stuff works. So it's just boom. I believe they're spinning off the Discovery part, and they're just keeping Warner Brothers, HBO Max, what else? I mean, the IP, obviously, Harry Potter, blah, blah, blah. Friends, which is the big one. I didn't know they had Wizard of Oz. Okay. Big Bang Theory, I guess that's them too. I thought that was CBS, which is I mean, it was on CBS, but I guess I guess Warner Brothers produced the show. So there's a whole bunch of cross pollination when it comes to these, especially the shows. Like if you watch TV or you watch the shows, not even TV, just like Netflix or whatever, you'll see a lot. Sony makes a lot of shows. Like I said, Warner Brothers and CBS and all that stuff. So Paramount, all that good stuff, and they're not necessarily tied to their streaming services. So that's whatever. But I don't think this is a big thing. Hopefully it'll help Warner Brothers. But like I said, Paramount and Paramount, Skydance, and I guess Comcast, NBC, they were trying to bid. I don't think NBC had a chance, but Paramount, like I said, they bid more. They had a higher bid, and they lost the bid. So now, I mean, is it going to be 2 years like it was for the ABK deal? Maybe not, because whatever her name is, Khan isn't in the freaking FTC anymore. But whatever. I mean, I guess it's a big deal. I mean, the main thing for me is that I just want to see like the DC stuff and like the James Gunn. I mean, they said like, oh yeah, we're not touching James Gunn. It's just basically like status quo, or business as it were. And so we'll see how that happens, and we'll see if this even goes through, because like I said, I think Paramount is going to file a lawsuit or something against Netflix and the whole thing. So we'll see. Like I said, but the thing is, it's really the implication is really for us is the video games. Like, what's going to be affected? Hogwarts Legacy, is that going to be, blah, blah, blah. Are they going to actually have physical games? That was another argument. Like, people they're not going to make physical games anymore because Netflix doesn't do physical games. And I'm like, well, if they're not going to touch the business, then physical games will still come out. I mean, they don't come out that much anyway, so, that's a moot point. And so I think Netflix acquiring them is just like they see the end of physical media, just like CDs. They see you can't buy CDs in the stores anymore. The nostalgia thing right now is buying LPs, and that's fine. That's just nostalgia. That's not the mainstream. That's not how people ingest the media. So they see that happening, and they're like, we'll just get we'll get them now. We'll hang on to we'll do a couple of physical joints from here and there, and we'll be there when physical media doesn't exist anymore. They did it before already. They did it with DVDs, remember? They were doing DVDs through the mail, boop, 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 boop. And then they stopped. Well, actually, they spun off that business. I think that business actually still exists. I think it's called Discs Flix, or I forgot. It's not called Netflix anymore. It's called something else. I forgot what it's called. But they spun it off, and now Netflix is the streaming, and Disc Flix is the physical DVDs, Blu-rays that you get in the mail. And so I was like, hey, cool. And some people still collect physical a little bit here and there. I do. If it's a movie I need to watch over and over again, I'm going to watch it. It's my favorite movie ever created. I'm going to get it on Blu-ray. Hasn't been a movie like that in a minute. The last one I got like that was actually the first Blu-ray I ever got was Logan. That's a good ass movie. So, a few of them, I'll probably go back. I know. Did I already get the Blu-ray of The Empire Strikes Back? That's my favorite Star Wars. Yeah. I think I want to get The Mandalorian season 1 and 2. 3 was a little weird. I guess the whole set, I guess. If I can find the whole set, I want to get that too, Jace. That was really good. And I want to see the movie too. I might get that movie. That movie looking pretty good. So that's what happened. A lot of big ting happened in the land of video games there. It's whatever. It's stuff's moving, stuff's shaking. Mainly, it's about games, and you look at who's putting out the most games, who's putting out the quality games. Xbox is destroying Nintendo and PlayStation combined as far as releases and quality releases. Look at Metroid. Metroid is like trash, hot garbage. It's like the worst Metroid. It's not the worst Metroid. I think it's the worst Metroid Prime game. And excuse me, and that whole thing we talked about last video where they charging for music is just ridiculous, and everybody's talking about it because it's not good. Will they change that? No, I think Nintendo's just going to be blind, deaf, and mute, and they're not going to say nothing. They're just going to what? Somebody said no? Okay, yeah, okay. Raise the price. That's what they're going to do. That's what they'll do. But I'm sorry. I'm Sniffle King. I'm Sneezy Boy. I appreciate and I apologize. I appreciate you hanging out. Like and subscribe. Hit me down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about your boy, the next box, selling, outselling the PlayStation initially. That's crazy. No name. It's really the price and the ease of it. So I mean, honestly, Xbox could come out with a peripheral to do the same thing, like a Kinect V3, and it could be like a little square. And they could do the same thing, but I don't think they want to invest in those type of games and stuff. So that's or maybe they would in their new Xbox and the next box in the Xbox Ultra Magnus. They would say, here's a camera, or you could be like, any web camera you want will work, and they can do it like that. And just be like, here's the store, the Android store, same store as the next box, and there you go. That's how you solve that. You make it compatible without having to do any work as far as doing hardware and all this stuff. You say any camera would work. You could use the old Kinect. You could use the Kinect version 2. You could use just a regular webcam. You could even use your cell phone. You never know. I'm just saying. Yeah, they could probably do something like that. And I think that the next Xbox would be able to do all the VR stuff too. So that's gonna be cool. Anyway. We'll see. And then let me know also about the Netflix acquisition. We'll see. We'll see how Paramount. It might be a long struggle for Netflix. We'll see. But at least it's not too much. I mean, it is video games related, tangentially, but not really. So I don't think Warner Bros. Not going out of business. So it's all good. It's all good. I think it'll all work out now. But anyway, I appreciate, and I'll talk y'all on the next one. Till tweet.